formats. So how might you do this? Well, here's a helpful infographic. So I'm just going to drag my mouse over here and say, let's start here at your original content. So if you're a writer, maybe you've taken an excerpt from your book and published it on your website as a preview. Or if you're a life coach, maybe you've taken a case study of a coaching client and you've, changed it a bit and respected confidentiality, but perhaps that's somewhere on your website. So that's original content. And a lot of people would just share that on Facebook, share it on LinkedIn, and then put it to bed and consider that that's the end of its life cycle. So not the case. We can make so much more of this, cover more bases, reach more people, get more mileage out of your original piece of content. So something really simple that you can do is you can make a quote card, and all that requires you to do is take a nice image from one that's legal to use from a free image sharing site, and layer a little bit of text from your content over it. Save it, upload it to these places, and you've got a quote card. People still love these. They're so popular on social media. You can share that on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Pinterest. Perhaps you can produce a blog post based on your original piece of content, which you can either share on your website, or if you don't have a website, no excuse, you can either publish it on LinkedIn Pulse, or you can go to medium.com and make an account there, which will host your writing for you. A bit of an aside, but I would say don't do all three of these, just because Google does not like to see websites producing duplicate content. It's the aim for Google is to keep everything fresh and relevant and original, so it doesn't want several different websites hosting the same thing. Your website's domain authority could be damaged by this, so don't do it. Pick one or the other. And then from there, taking the content, the blog post, the thing you've written about, you could go on to live streaming and talk about it. I know it's a little bit scary and not everyone likes doing it, but don't knock it till you've tried it. A lot of people are horrified by the idea at first, and then they get over the fear hump and actually start to enjoy it. So give it a try. If you go onto Facebook Live, you can share it there. You can have a conversation about what you've just written, and you can do the same thing on Periscope. Now, if you've got time for both, I would recommend trying both. And the reason for this is that these two are very different audiences. So when you're sharing something on Facebook Live, that's first of all going to the fans of the page that you're streaming from. It can go outside of that reach if you pay to boost your post. When you're on Periscope, it tends to be not usually your followers that see you. It's usually whoever is just live on Facebook, on Periscope at that time, and they'll see your live stream come up as live now, and they may click onto it if it sounds interesting. Now, from that reason, it can go one of two directions. You can either have a great experience where you reach new people that had never heard of you before, but they love what you're doing, or you can reach complete idiots and you can get horrible, spammy troll comments. It can go either way. What I would say is if you're going to try it, just go in there with a thick skin and know that there are a lot of bored, silly people on the internet. But don't let it offend you. It's not personal. It's really common, happens to everyone. Don't let me put you off though. Do try it, because I have seen some life coaches doing fantastic things on Periscope that have been really worthwhile. And then finally, you could make a podcast or a vlog, or even both. And just while we're here, I just want to mention Brendan Bouchard again, who is one of my marketing heroes that I mentioned earlier, because he does something brilliant with repurposing. He's got a vlog which doubles up as his blog. So if you go to his website, his blog page, it's not written blog posts, it's just embedded videos from YouTube, his video blog. If you go to YouTube, obviously all those videos are there, and his YouTube channel is incredibly popular. And also he's got a column on huffingtonpost.com, which again is the same YouTube video embedded. So he's done, for each one of his videos, he's getting 3 different sites on the internet covered. And that's not the same problem as you'd get by posting a text post, because Google doesn't know what the content of your video is, so he's not getting penalised for duplicate content. You'd think getting a 3-for-1 out of his video blog was enough, but no, he actually gets a 4th action. He strips that audio away from the video and uploads it to iTunes, and it's also his podcast. He's an absolute master at upcycling, so I wanted to share that with you for inspiration. And finally, I've put a little grey arrow back to the start here again because I want to suggest that once you've been all around this process, you've had different conversations on different platforms. People have maybe commented here, perhaps someone's asked you a question here. By the time you've gone around all these different methods of upcycling, you've probably got a new spin on the content yourself, so perhaps that's going to inspire your next piece of writing. Perhaps it'll be part B of the blog post, a follow-up or an answer to a question. So yeah, I hope that gives you something to think